Hello. So today was a fun day. I got to do something off trail, which is always a fun activity, or I shouldn't say activity. Anytime you can do an activity off trail that's not hiking, it's a nice change of pace. I also stopped by the outpost today and got resupplied. So, sorry, the camera's all over the place. So it was a busy day. I got up early and hiked about a mile into town, and thankfully the outpost decided to open up early for the hikers. So I grabbed my resupply, tore through it, and repacked my bag, and I was in and out in I think an hour. And back on the road, I had to do another, I think, 3 or 4 miles. And the reason why is because I went to the Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument, and I think I may have mentioned in the earlier video, and so I was able to actually go. They don't have timed entry or anything, which is great. So I was able to walk up, and they gave me a little orientation of what to do, what not to do, and I was able to walk through the dwellings. It's about a mile loop, so it didn't take too long, and that was great because I still needed to put some mileage on the trail today, because I think it's like 120 miles between the outpost and the next city. So averaging 20 miles a day, that's, doing the math, 6 days. So I wanted to get started on that, and it was great to actually go through the cliff dwellings and get to see the history and read some of the information. And I had actually helped support the cliff dwellings with some work when I was supporting the Park Service over the last few years. And being able to actually go to the park is really rewarding. And today's shout out actually is to NPS staff and volunteers. You folks have difficult jobs sometimes, and you do a wonderful job, especially on the ground at the parks when people have just some really interesting requests, like a CDT hiker coming up with a huge backpack, and you folks don't allow backpacks because you don't want pack rats and food in the cliff dwellings, and you help out that CDT hiker by allowing that person to put their pack in a safe place, so their stuff doesn't get bothered with while they're hiking around the cliff dwellings. There's another person who came up with a dog, and they have kennels that are underneath the bridge and shade, and they have water for the dogs and all sorts of stuff. So they were absolutely wonderful today, and I thank them dearly, not just at the cliff dwellings, but across the service, because the parks wouldn't operate without you folks, whether that's permanent, seasonal, or volunteer staff. So I was able to go through the cliff dwellings, do my resupply, and then I got on trail. Like the road walk is part of the trail for this section, but I was able to get on trail to start hiking at I think about 1 o'clock after I went through the cliff dwellings and got my resupply and did the road walk, which again was a few miles. So we're on the Gila River alternative of the CDT. There's actually a low alternative and a high alternative, so the low route and the high route. And the high route actually was close to the cliff dwelling, so I decided to do the high route, and at least today. Yesterday I had hiked the low route, which is where we had to cross the river like 24 times. And so today was the high route, and you don't cross the river. There's actually no water on the high route. One of the natural sources that I was supposed to cross today actually is dry, which is unfortunate. So what I ended up doing was I hiked on the high route for, let's see, I think it was about 8 miles. And then there's a cutoff, fortunately, that goes from the high route to the low route. And I was able to take that cutoff, and I was able to come down to the river. So right over there is the Gila River, and I'm on the low route again. So tomorrow I'll probably hike along the low route, so I don't have to carry a lot of water because my pack is heavy with 6 days or now 5.5 days of food in it. So being able to remove water weight because you're hiking along a river is going to help. And I think tomorrow, after doing the low route, the following day, so let's see, so what is today? Today's Thursday. So today's day 15 on the trail. Yeah, so day 17 I'll probably do a little bit of the high route again, and because there are gorgeous views up there. Even though there's not water, there's absolutely gorgeous views. It's similar to summiting a mountain and being able to see like one range or two ranges over. So the views today were breathtaking. There was actually a beautiful campsite right before I dropped down to start the route. Is like 1.7 mile route down to the river, the low route. There was a beautiful campsite with just a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous view. And I was really sad that I wasn't able to fill up water at the natural source on the high route, because I would have really loved to camp and watch the sunset and the sunrise. It would have been absolutely gorgeous, but oh well. So in a couple days I'll get back on the high route, and then I think the high route and the low route in a couple days actually combine into one again, and there's no alternative. You just stay on the low route, and then the low route actually reconnects to the CDT. So I think it's in 3 days, maybe at the end of 2 days, or day 2, or maybe the 3rd day, I'll be back on CDT proper and heading to Pie Town, which is the next town, and then we'll keep on going. I was not able to, I was in and out of Doc Campbell's, and there was no cell service. The only service was Wi-Fi. So I think it's a couple, they allow us to connect to their Wi-Fi to, just check some basic stuff. And so I didn't get to upload any videos. That's why you see a slew of videos, and some that are, by the time they get posted, are going to be like a week or so old. So sorry about that, but you are going to get a lot of videos in a short period of time once I get to some place where I can post them. But today was great. Got the resupply and went flawlessly. Got to see the cliff dwellings, and I think I ended up hiking, not including the extra miles to the cliff dwellings. I think I ended up hiking like 16 miles on the trail, even though I did a resupply and went to the dwellings. So it was a good day. My feet are barking a little bit. They're tired because of the heavy pack from the 6 days of food. So we'll see if there are any issues, but for the most part, they seem to be settling down. I think the fatigue is my concern, so I'll have to see if, again, I'll have to look into insoles to see if I can help that fatigue, so I can hike 20 miles and not get tired by the time I get to that 20-mile mark. So I think that's all I got today. Thank you everyone for watching the videos and following along, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.